break my bones, but talk don't bother me. People talk and saying this and that, but I know it's not about me. Words can hurt, words could bring me down, but I won't take it personally. I know the truth in my heart. I know my truth. I know the truth of who I am. Whatever people think or say or do, it's all about them, I see. Sticks and stones may break these bones, but talk don't bother me. All right, yeah. Of who I am. Words of gossip may be floating around, may be scandalizing my name. Hearing things won't make me feel bad, cause my truth is mine to claim. I know the truth in my heart. I know my truth. Here we go. I know the truth of who I am. I know the truth of what I am. I know the truth of all I am. In my heart, I know my truth. I know the truth of who I am. People talking, trying to bring me down. Why don't they let things be? Sticks and stones may break these bones. Talk don't bother me. Sticks and stones may break these bones, but talk don't bother me.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. We are here. We are here. We are here. You are there. We are here. You are here. We are there. We're everywhere. We are a spiritual community celebrating love here at Unity of Tucson. And I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, the senior minister here. What a joy it is to have you join us on this beautiful Sunday morning. I want to share with you, of course, our vision here at Unity of Tucson. It is this. We envision a place of peace, beauty, and power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. And here are the faces of some magnificent people in our congregation, in our spiritual family. Let's celebrate them with our opening song here today. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish, and I know that I'm being wise. And it's something that I must believe in, 'cause it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, in the whisper of the trees. Love is in the air, in the thunder of the sea. And I know that I'm not just dreaming, I know that I'm feeling sane. It's something that I must believe in, and it's there when I call out your name. In the air, in the rising of the sun. Love is in the air, when the day is nearly done. And I know that it's not an illusion, I know what I see is true. And it's something that in the air everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish. I know that I'm being wise. It's something that I must believe in, 'cause it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Oh. Love is in the air. 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 Love. Yeah, love is in the air. It's everywhere. It's in the rising of the sun, and then when the day is done, it's everywhere present, because that is the only thing that exists, this thing called love, that we also call God, that we also call spirit, that we also call universal presence, that we also call source of all things, that we call by many, many, many names. But it is really what we're talking about today. It actually is what we're talking about today. I'll get to that a little bit later. So yes, once again, good morning. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday morning. We are here at Unity of Tucson, a spiritual family, a spiritual community. We are here to teach practical tools for a better life. By implementing and putting to use practical tools, spiritual tools in our lives, well, the quality of our life just gets better. And so that's what I'm here to say. Let's all put this to work. Let's put this to work in our lives so that we can create and enhance the experience of our lives. If you're joining us for the first time today, I would love for you to reach out to us. Let us know that you are joining with us. You can go to unitytucson.com/connect. Fill out our connect card there and let us know that you are present here watching with us today. It is my belief you get to decide what your belief is, and I want to be really clear on that today. This is my belief. My belief is that we can precipitate our own spiritual evolution through the practical use of spiritual tools. And that is the purpose of spiritual communities like this for me, is that it is enhancing through the practical. Wow, I'm really getting myself tongue-tied here today, and I don't usually get that tongue-tied, but maybe I'm just excited. Through putting to use practical tools, we get to evolve ourselves. We get to evolve our experience of life. Yeah, that's what I'm really trying to say. You know, sometimes ministers, we love to talk, and sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. So I'm going to take a breath. Yes, and invite you to share with me the mission statement here at Unity of Tucson. Let's read this together. Within the principles of unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. And our nature is divine. These principles, this teaching, I think can be summed up in these 3 tenets that I carry with me close to my heart and try to practice every single day. They are these: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And in remembering who we are and in recognizing that truth of every single person in our lives, we can settle ourselves into this truth. And I know this truth about you. It is that you are magnificent. Let's exclaim for ourselves, I am magnificent, all together. I am magnificent. Yes. Use the chat function for just a moment. Reach out to the other people who are watching with you, your spiritual family. Let them know that you are present, that you are, accessible, and that you recognize their magnificence. Do so in your own voice, in your own way. And I do want to say good morning and welcome to everybody who is here. We have the majority of the board who are here this morning because we have our annual meeting following the celebration today. So I want to say to them, good morning. I see you. You are magnificent. Carol is here, who's going to help light the candles in a little bit. You are magnificent. Our tech crew, absolute magnificence back there, ensuring that you are able to see and hear us. Jeffrey, you are magnificent. And you, this magnificent group of musicians, you are magnificent, and I'm blessed and grateful every day for you. Thank you. I'm going to invite you, as those messages of love go out and fill the waves and the internet and raise that vibration, I'm going to invite you to find that space within your heart that is settled and relaxed as we move into a period of quieting. A period of centered awareness, a period of contemplation, meditation. Doesn't matter what we call it. It's an opportunity that we can take here and now. An opportunity for deepening into the truth. Whatever truth we carry in our hearts. For me, that truth is we are all connected as the wholeness. And so as I close my eyes and invite you to do the same if it's comfortable for you, I allow myself to resonate with this truth, letting this truth become the activity of my inner life. We are one. We are connected. We are whole. And we are holy. Right where we are, God is. Right where God is, we are. I'm going to read this month's affirmation and invite you to simply take it in and see if it resonates for you. What feelings come up for you as I read this? I rest in the peace and ease of heart-centered coherence. I rest in the peace and ease of heart-centered coherence. I rest in the peace and ease of heart-centered coherence. Let us sit with that for just a few moments.
Spirit. We are life, we are love, we are light. We are joy, we are peace, we are wisdom, and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. We are pure spirit. I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt because I recognize and know that there is only spirit, so there can be nothing else. There's only this one power, this one presence, this one love, this one light. And while we call it by many names, it is beyond language. I recognize it in my experiences and the feeling of my life. I know that it is infused in and showing up and expressing itself as all creation. And so everywhere I go, I see the face of God. And I trust this to be so for every single person here, every single person I encounter, every single person connected to this spiritual community. I trust and know that this is our identity. Our core identity is divine. We are the light of love. We are the light of life. We are the light of God. And in this place of faith, I settle into the deepest understanding that my life, our lives, each and every one of us, are flowing forth with grace and with ease, with love and kindness at the core of all experience, at the core of all intention, at the core of all thought, at the core of all expression. For I am in harmony and know that there is divine right order expressing by means of each and every one of us. I trust this, I know this, and with gratitude overflowing, I simply let it be as I relax and expect the perfect flow of God in the experience for each and every one of us. I know it to be so, and so it is. We are life, we are love, we are light. We are joy, we are peace, we are wisdom, and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit, and who we are is pure spirit. Yes, who we are is pure spirit. Thank you. Carol. Good morning, Carol. Grateful to have you here. Carol is helping me with our ritual today, lighting the flames of faith. This ritual that I've
brought in at the beginning of my ministry, my time here in ministry, that is honoring the world traditions, the spiritual paths, the faith traditions, the religious ideologies that exist, and understanding that at the core of each and every one of them is a golden thread of love. And this month being a month where we are celebrating love, February, Valentine's Day, it's love month. So everything is about love. Let's just love. With each candle that we light, we are understanding that each of these are rooted in love. And so I've looked at some of the traditions, understandings of love, and so that's what we're going to honor here today. So let's first light a candle for the Tao. In the Tao, love is freely given and received. The Tao is a way rooted in a state of love where we start to live in harmony with all things. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, in which are essential aspects of life, focused on techniques meant to unify our lives with strength, healing, and love. We light a candle for Hinduism. Love in Hinduism is a sacrament. It preaches that one gives up selfishness in love, not expecting anything in return. We light a candle for Judaism, which offers this. Love is multifaceted, and it teaches us that we should love our neighbor as ourself and to love God with all our heart, soul, and might. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism. Compassion, which is understood as unconditional and benevolent love, unselfish in its nature, is necessary for enlightenment. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, which teaches that God is the source and essence of eternal love. And Jesus reiterated this by saying that the first and greatest commandment is to love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam. The Prophet Muhammad said, "You will not enter paradise until you believe, and you will not believe until you love." We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i. Love is the mystery of divine revelations. Love is the effulgent manifestation. Love is the breath of the Holy Spirit inspired into the human spirit. We light a candle for all forms of new thought. Love is the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. The power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe, everything in it and everything beyond it. We light a candle for those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is the candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the revelation of divinity. For that is the true nature of healing, the revealing of the God essence, the pure God essence, the love at the core of all creation. When we find ourselves aligned and in flow with that understanding, then we are healed. So this candle is for you, for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle here to your left is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated with this understanding. The peace candle and its light represent the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts at the core of each and every one of us. And as we allow that peace to shine forth from each and every one of us, we create more peaceful experiences for our local community and for the world and for the universe. So let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. I have a teacher in one of my classes right now who reminded me that silence is okay. Sometimes we're up here and we feel like we need to fill the space, but sometimes silence is okay. I decided I wanted to sing one of my favorite songs today. When you're down and troubled and you need some loving care, and nothing, oh nothing is going right, just close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together and call my name out loud. Soon you'll hear me knocking upon your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, yes I will, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. Say, ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and desert you, break your heart if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Thank you. Thank you. As I was thinking about the song this morning, as I was considering what I wanted to say, I think one way that we can look at the song is to understand it from this point of view. When the song says, "You just call out my name," whose name are we really calling out? And you know, wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. And so if we take the "I am" as the subject of the song, when you call out my name, imagine that's God. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about God initially as a thing outside the self, and anthropomorphize it a little bit, although that is not what we teach. But sometimes we can find value in understanding it from that perspective. And so imagine for a moment that in the times when you feel down and troubled, what is there? What is there? There's always the opportunity to call out, to reach out, to understand and know that everything that exists, everything is God. And the name of God, I am that I am. Whatever we choose to utilize to express that name, it is rooted at the core of our hearts. And that ultimately, when we call out, we are calling to that which is within ourselves, within our hearts and within our minds, within our very beingness, because there is no aspect of our beingness that is not 100% pure divinity. And so in the same way that I can recognize and see, Raphael or Joshua or William or Karen, Carol, Ross, anyone, as I see that I have a relationship with you, in the same way I recognize and know the infinite truth about you and about you, every single person who is watching online. I recognize the infinite truth and I have a relationship with you. And so in that respect, I have a relationship with God because I have a relationship with everything in my experience. And so I step back into this understanding of God as all there is, and that is where I'm beginning today. Charles Fillmore wrote this: "We are all, in our personality, wearing the mask that conceals the real, the spiritual I am." We are all, in our personality, wearing the mask that conceals the real, the spiritual I am. What if we took those masks off and allowed ourselves to shine brightly as the thing, this thing itself, this magnificent light, this love? We have fundamental concepts that underpin the entire Unity teaching. And I don't know that any of us spend enough time really considering these principles. I know that I don't. And I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be on the bridge a little bit here, or be on the teeter-totter and talk a little bit about science of mind, talk a little bit about the unity principle, because here's the thing. The fundamental principles of both science of mind, religious science, and unity are the same. Now, unity has distilled it down to essentially 5 basic principles that are published everywhere, and I'm going to talk about the publication of these principles a little bit. And science of mind made it a little more complicated and decided it was going to be expressed in 10 core concepts. And I sometimes laugh at that because I don't think there's a minister in science of mind who can actually tell you what the 10 core concepts are off the top of their head. Because the funny thing is, we call these our core concepts, or we call these our basic principles, and yet we don't talk about them enough from up here, although everything is always around those things. So what I've decided I want to do is that I want to take these next 5 weeks and I want to talk about the 5 basic principles of unity. Because I don't want us to ever find ourselves in a place where we might have taken them for granted. Now, as I talk about these principles over these next few weeks, it's a reminder to each and every one of us. I would like this to be a reminder to each and every one of us that we put these principles to the test. That part of what we are here to do is to experiment with these principles and determine whether or not we believe them, whether or not they work for us. So this week, first things first, the title of today's message, first things first. I'm going to talk about the very first principle. Now, there is a statement of principle that starts off, Charles Fillmore wrote it, he wrote, "We believe." We believe. And I have trouble with that, first of all. I don't know what you believe. I don't know what you believe. I know what I believe, and I know what we teach. So I'm going to take the liberty of replacing we believe with we teach. And then you get to decide what you would like to do with it. So Charles Fillmore wrote this as essentially the first principle. We teach God, the one and only omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent spirit mind. We teach God, the one and only omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent spirit mind. That's the word. Those are the words of Charles Fillmore. Now, these have been shifted and changed, and as the movement, as the unity movement, as a philosophy has evolved, and it is evolved and evolving at all times, Unity Worldwide Ministries has actually presented it in this way. There is only one presence and power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good. Essentially saying the same thing. And then Unity World Headquarters has even yet another bit of language that they use to express this first basic principle. God is all there is and present everywhere. This is the fourth force of love and wisdom that underlies all of existence. So what it is all saying is essentially this. I can distill it down into two words. God is. And there's a challenge. Because while I can distill it down into two words, God is, it still limits what God is. Language is a clumsy tool for expressing the infinite. In fact, language cannot adequately express the infinite. And I think that as much as, I always joke, I always like to say, as much as ministers like to talk, the more we talk, the more we limit. There's someone who I talked to recently, another minister in the movement, and said at some point she would like to get up and address her community and just get up, and the message is going to be this: God. What more needs to be said? What more needs to be said? The moment we apply any language, we limit. We limit. And so that's why you start having all of these different expressions of this first principle. Now, in one of the classes I'm taking, we talked a lot about this first principle, and we decided that we were going to create our own language around how to describe it and how to present it. And what we were put into study groups, and my study group came up with this: God is present everywhere, constant and unchanging. God is present everywhere, constant and unchanging. And as I continue to accept this notion of what God is in my life and in my experience, I question even that statement. And I invite you to do the same thing. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What are the implications to adopting that idea as a personal belief? Because here's the question. We teach God, but what do you believe? And what are the implications around adopting a belief? Imagine for a moment that you adopted for yourself this idea: God is all there is and present everywhere. This is the force of love and wisdom that underlies all of existence. God is present everywhere, constant and unchanging. What are the implications around adopting that? What happens for you in your life, both your outer life and your inner life, in adopting that? Now I'm going to touch briefly on the second statement of principle, just to say this, that if that is adopted as a belief, and that is what I have adopted as my belief, God is all there is, present everywhere, constant, unchanging. If God is all there is, and that means everything is God, everything, are there any exceptions to that? Because I think a lot of people would take exception to the notion of being able to state out loud, I am God. you are God. That's a hard thing for people to hear because we have been raised, we have been culturalized, we have been socialized into these ideas that God is something out there that is unreachable. But it's not. God is right here. I am that which is. You are that which is. We are. Everyone I encounter, every single person I encounter, by taking on this understanding that I am that which is, that God is all there is, I cannot help but then experience everyone I encounter as God. I see only the light when I understand that. I see only the light in every single individual I see and experience. Every single one, whether they are utilizing the power of the divine in constructive or destructive ways, all I choose to see is the light, and that is the power of changing my life for the better. These are practical tools that we teach within this philosophy to make our own personal lives better. Well, that's the very first one I think we need to adopt, is to say, let us stop walking around thinking that there is something else. There is only one thing going on, one thing and one thing only, God. And that as I experience the world, I'm experiencing God in every face. In 2013, I took a Caribbean cruise. And on this cruise, we went to, all the cruise lines, they have their own islands in the Bahamas, right? So you do the cruise, and on the last day of our cruise we went to Half Moon Cay, which is the island that is owned by Holland America. I was on a Holland America ship that year. And we went to this island, and everybody gets off the cruise ship and they go and they have a lovely beach day. And of course, the cruise line has all the food and all the beverages that you could possibly ever desire. And then you have all these people out there drinking in the hot sun. It's like, oh no. Anyway, so I was there, and you have the opportunity to meet lots of new people when you're on a cruise. And I befriended this guy on the very last day. His name was Alan. And I remember this guy's name, and I can see his face so clearly, because here we are at the end of this entire week, and this guy Alan was out there, and he had gotten his lunch, and he was sitting by himself at this picnic table out on the island. And I went up and I said, "Do you mind if I sit with you?" And it struck up a conversation, and he had quite the story, talking about how he had decided to come on this cruise because he wanted to put himself out there, that he suffered from extreme shyness, that he had a real hard time interacting with people because he was so shy, and that he had purposely put himself in a very uncomfortable position by being on a cruise ship because he knew he was going to have to interact with people all the time. Now, I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise, but unless you're in your cabin, there's basically no place to go where you are not surrounded by people all the time. And he said, he said to me, and we talked a little bit, and I had mentioned to him, that I was a New Thought minister, and he was very interested in that. And he said, well, how would you help somebody like me? And I just said, the best way to get over your shyness, if that's what you choose to do, have a willingness to just say hello to people. Just say hello. There's nothing more that you need to do. Just say hello. And here's the thing. People will either respond or they won't. And if you can find yourself being okay, whether they respond or not, you're going to find a space within yourself that is never lonely and can never experience shyness anymore. And I said, this is rooted in this understanding, going back to this basic principle. Everything that exists is God. And he was open to hearing this. Everything that exists is God. All of it. And so when you say hello to somebody, it is God saying hello to God. And it doesn't matter what their response is. Their response is their responsibility, not yours. So just be open to understanding the truth of your being. Remember who you are. I saw him, and I expressed to him in the best way I could in that brief time we spent together the understanding that all I could understand about him was that I saw within him the light of the world. You are the light of the world. This light, this infinite light, it is infinite because there is only one light, there is only one life, there is only God. So there can be no other light. You know, it's funny, we talk about these lights, and we talk about we're going to light all these candles, and great, but there's one light. That's it. And these are reflections of the one light. You are a reflection of the one light. We are each and every one of us reflections and expressions of this one light. There is one light, one life, God. There is a major implication rooted in that as well. That as we deepen into our understanding that there is only one light, the implication of that is there can only be pure equality in all expression, because the wholeness of God is expressing everywhere at the same time, no matter what. It is fully expressing by means of me, it is fully expressing by means of you, and there can only be equality in that, and in that equality an expression of equity. If God is all there is, there can be no isms, there can be no phobias. When we truly accept that as our beingness, how can we understand anything outside the self as less than? We cannot. Because if we believe that something outside the self is less than, then we must accept for ourselves that we are less than, and I refuse to do that. You are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. We can easily mistake the experiences of our life as primary in causation, but they are not. The experiences of our lives are only the effects. And so if we believe ourselves to be less than, then we will experience the reflection of less than in all the effects of the world. If we know who we are, that we are our inner beingness, our primary causation is our use of this infinite creative mind, then we experience life from that point of view. So today, I am calling on each and every one of us to root into this. Do not allow your experience of people and situations to inform your vision of God. Bring your understanding, bring your vision of God, bring your light to the experience and see how life changes. Now, I said I was going to be on the teeter-totter. A little unity, a little science of mind. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "The person who can throw himself with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward." Are you willing? Do you have a willingness to cut loose from all the effects of our lives, thinking that they have any bearing on our beingness? Are you willing to let go, to cut loose of them, and throw yourself with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity? Because I'll tell you, once you dive in, it's so awesome. What are you willing to throw yourself into? What are you willing to throw yourself into? You always have a friend. You always have a support system. You always have that magnificent power that is 100% supportive of your entire beingness. God is that friend. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and God is there. Because there is only one power. There is only one presence. There is only one source. God can never not be there. God can never not be there. God is present everywhere, constant and unchanging. Ain't it good to know that you've got a friend? Dive in this week to a deeper and greater understanding of God. Dive in this week to that, to what God represents for you. What do you believe about God? What can God be in your life? Dive into that limitless sea of receptivity and go forth and prosper. Namaste. And that essentially is the homework. The homework this week, I would like us to be a little bit more contemplative. Meditate on the idea meditate on the idea that God is all there is. Take time at least once a day, preferably several times a day, to stop for a minute and allow yourself to meditate. It doesn't have to be, an hour-long meditation. Take 5 minutes to allow yourself to come to that centered place of awareness and remind yourself, God is all there is. God is all there is. Let yourself deepen into the meaning that exists within that understanding. God is all there is. And see how it might work for you in your life. And here's a hint. It can never work against you. I'm going to invite you to relax right where you are. Let yourself focus on any kernel of truth that resonates for you from today's message. Let it be present fully in your heart, right here and right now. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love into the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love. And know that in the sending I am never depleted of that love, for love is the only thing. God, love, one wholeness. There is only this power. There is only this presence. That is all that is. And this is who and what I am. This is who and what each and every one of us is. And so I choose in this moment to take the time to settle into that recognition, to settle into that acceptance, to trust and know that the expression and experience of all life is the reflection of this divine mind, this magnificent God presence, this source. And I know that everything in life aligns perfectly, easily, and effortlessly. And so I welcome the good, I welcome the flow, and I welcome the experience of this love. I do so with a grateful heart, knowing my entire beingness is flooded with gratitude and overflowing from within, shining forth as the light of life. I let this be so as I relax, release, trust, and know that this word spoken is complete. And in knowing this, I welcome the perfect flow. And so it is. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Yes, it returns to me. Thank you. Well, with that sense of gratitude, I'm going to invite us all to give in this moment as we move into our time of giving. There are many ways that you can support Unity of Tucson, the work we're doing here, support the mission and the vision the magnificent principles that we teach here that I believe are world-changing, I believe. And as I adopt them into my life, I know that they have changed my world. How about you? So let's honor together the activity of giving. Why do we give? We give, of course, because we want to be here, because we want to spread this message of love and empowerment. We want to spread this message. So there are many ways that you can support that. You can give at unitytucson.com. There are links on pretty much every single page that say give online. We welcome it in that form. You can phone in a debit or credit card by calling the office Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., our regular office hours. You can send in a check utilizing any delivery service you like. Also, you can now text, if you have a smartphone, text Unity Tucson to 73256, and you can give in that form as well. As we give, let us acknowledge the great good that we receive from giving by reading together our divine givingness statement. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. As we give, we'll sing a little bit. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. I am so grateful, I am so grateful, I am so grateful. I would like to remind everyone that we do have our annual meeting today, our annual membership meeting. If you have not already checked it out, the way to access the meeting through Zoom, which is a web conferencing software, all of the ways that you can access the meeting are on our website. If you go to unitytucson.com, on the homepage, there is a link that references the annual meeting. If you go there, open up that link, it's going to show all the ways that you can log into the meeting. It also has our annual report posted there, which you can download. You can read it on your screen, but you can also download it as a PDF. Also, the two nominees for board positions have some introductory videos. Each one is about 2 minutes long. Take a look at those introductory videos for the members of our community who are nominated to be on the board of directors, as we will have a board election today. So really encourage you to join us for that. It begins at 11:30. We're going to take a few minutes here to get things lined up and ready to go for that meeting. So encourage you to log in at 11:30 for the annual membership meeting. Of course, what that means is there is no social time on Zoom after the meeting or after the celebration today. So join us for the meeting, not for the social time. We do have need for some support in the office. If you have a willingness to come into the office during the week and do some data entry, it's not glamorous, but it's necessary. If you have some willingness to do some data entry, we could sure use your support in that. Reach out to the office at unitytucson.com and let us know, and we will find a time that works for you. Don't forget to let your friends know we are streaming on YouTube, we are streaming on Facebook, and we are streaming at our website, unitytucson.com/livestream every Sunday morning. 9 a.m. Arizona time is our guided meditation. Of course, 10 o'clock is our celebration service. We also stream on Wednesday evenings for our 6 p.m. midweek spiritual practice, which is usually a more contemplative, quiet, meditative experience. Been doing a lot of meditations recently, and actually one thing that I would love to do is do a virtual Taizé service, and I'll talk to you about what that is. It's all music. Yes. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible. I want to say thank you, of course, to our technical crew, Wally, Don, Aiden. Thank you for your service and, your expertise that allows us to be seen by this world, not just in Tucson. I mean, we really are seen by the world. People from all over the world watch us. I want to do a quick shout out because I did send them an email this week knowing that they were in Texas, and I wanted to make sure that they were safe and secure, and they are. They never lost power, but I want to say hello to Tom and Mary Kelly, who have been on their travels, and they were in Texas during this big storm. They never lost power. I mean, how could you ever lose power when you know who you are? So I just wanted to say a shout out to them and say thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching. I want to say thank you to the board, Carol, Jeffrey, this band. Thank you all for your presence here and for making this magnificent community, supporting what it is in this world. And thank you, every single one of you, for making your presence known, not just in this service, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but in this world. You are magnificent, and I am grateful for you. As we complete our time here, let's share together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen.
I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky and danced with monsters in the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I howled at the moon with friends, and then the sun came crashing in. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. But all the possibilities, no limits, just epiphanies. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, just don't wake me now. Ooh, ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Ooh, this is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. I hear it calling outside my window. I feel it in my soul. The stars were burning so bright. The sun was out till midnight. I say we lose control. Whoa. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.